Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no. Oh whoa. I got that G to that I to that N to that E, and they don't know nothing about the freak, so they just talking to me. Hope everybody doing well. Everybody feeling so swell. G and to the A and to the M. J-I-M-E. What's up, Laker bro? How you doing? How you doing? Forgot to get the URL for the chat box so everybody can see all their thoughts on the big screen on YouTube TV. Yeah. So let me jot those down and click it up. You're the first one to the party. And you said, "What's up?" I'm doing good, swell, not sick. And I hope you're feeling the same and living life to the fullest in these quarantine times. Still on your grind. What's up, Perry? Perry, I fucking did that shit where it's like that GTA meme. And you just see the dude walking. He's like, "Oh shit, here we go again." I want to play the Keenan and Kel song so much, bro. What's up, Red Dragon? It's like, oh no, here we go again. Oh man, I used to remember the lyrics to that song so well. I don't think I know them at all now. Is that my old age or is that the dementia? Fuck, it's either way. It's not good, bro. I'm not feeling it, yo. Oh Jesus Christ! So we actually do have gaming news to talk about. So that is something better than the last time we spoke because we didn't have shit to talk about. Unfortunately, I still have to work tomorrow, so it's not even like a Sunday stream that can go longer than I would normally go because I still got to fucking work. But it's fine because I'm getting paid, and that's a blessing that not everyone has. So I was gonna turn it more into a gag, and then I came to the realization that's kind of insensitive for those who are like having to deal with unemployment due to the situation. So that's why I didn't go as far with it as I could have. But hopefully everybody's doing well and staying healthy and staying away from other people if you are sick and drinking proper amounts of fluids. That fluid shit is what fucks a lot of people up. They don't fucking realize it, man. You not drinking fluids will get you fucked up. And staying hydrated and staying quarantined. Now, I'm not sick, although I will be surrounded by a bunch of children in the next 2 days, so we'll see what happens. But the goal is not to stay sick, not to get sick. So we'll see what happens. So we got some things to talk about. I'm actually surprised Lightning isn't here, but I am doing this later than I haven't done it this late in a while. That's the point I'm making. I hear my mother banging her way up the stairs, so this usually starts with an interruption. Let's see. Wait for it. Wait for it. She might be going to my sister's room, but I want to make sure. Time to drink. It'd be like, wake up, drink. Go to sleep, drink. Look sideways, drink. Walk the right ways, drink. Look down, drink. See ya, drink. Oh, hi, Jesus, drink. Oh, hi, Satan, drink. Ah, terrible, bro. I'm absolutely terrible, bro. Ridiculous. That's besides the point. This is not important right now. We're going to talk about some video game news because we did have a surprise Nintendo Direct, and then there's been a couple other announcements. So, for some reason, the end of May has become very fucking busy all of a sudden with various announcements. So, we're going to talk about them real quick. First off, Shantae's console and PC release date is May 29th. Xenoblade Definitive Edition is May 29th. Fucking the Borderland collections and the Bioshock collection and the XCOM 2, they're all May 29th. And I'm like, guys, did you think that this was gonna like that this is smart. That's a lot of shit to be putting out in the course of like one day. That's like, let's think about it. The collection itself is like what? The Bioshock one is 3 games. The Borderlands one is 3 games because it's the first 2 games in the prequel. XCOM, I think it's just XCOM 2. Then you got Shantae. Then you got Xenoblade Definitive Edition. That's 9 fucking games. And then I'm just talking about on one platform. It's insane. It's absolutely insanity. And then next week, you got Resident Evil fucking 3 coming out. Also, the return. Oh yeah, and then Last of Us Part 2. That's like 10 fucking times. Why are so many games? And I realistically think shit got delayed due to the virus. I think that's really what it is. I think they were like, we don't really want people out there buying games until like then. Yeah, I saw that. We got that announcement today that Nier's, I think isn't it a remake of Nier? It says Nier Replicant, but isn't that just a remake of the first game? Let me check. 10-year anniversary cult classic third person RPG Nier. Yeah, this is a remake. What's up, Sora-san? But yeah, they're putting out a remake that comes out. When does this come out? Did this not get a release date? They announced it, but that was it. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I don't think they've announced like a release date for it. I think it's just teaser footage. Well, of course, games because nothing else. Because you're all in the house right now. Doom and what is it? Doom and Animal Crossing. Then you got Resident Evil 3 remake this week, I believe. And then like in a few more weeks, you got what? Final Fantasy 7 remake. Shit's about to get crazy, yo. Absolutely insane. And then what's this? What the hell is Nier Automata Become God? Oh, Become Gods edition. That must be a special edition. I'm skimming through Gamatsu to see. Yeah, there's like a teaser for a new game, and then there's like a mobile game, isn't there? There's a mobile game coming out, right? You got the remake one that comes out on the PS4, Xbox, and PC. What's up, Bandit X91? Um, let's see. Yeah, it's just a lot of shit, bro, and it makes me mad. And then Soccer Wars, when the hell does that come out? And I know it's in April, but I don't remember when in April. It's the end of April, which it seems like most of April. I think I'm out. At least I know the schools and shit are out until like the end of April. So like realistically, any April game can be beaten with really no issues because you're not doing anything. Let's see. So Soccer Wars, Resident Evil 3, also the return of Mr. Driller, which I thought was kind of crazy. I was asking people because I was like, did we know about that beforehand? But apparently they're making like a remake. Is it? Hold on, let me double check. I forget if it's a remake or if it's just like a brand new game. What was the video about Breath of the Wild 2? If you don't mind me asking, just to give me like the tidbit so I know what the conversation was. I'm gonna look up real quick. The Mr. Driller one's kind of interesting to me because that franchise is such a weird. Like I feel like everyone's seen it, but no one fucking plays it, and it's weird. That might be a weird statement to make, but that's what it feels like to me. I mean, there are 2 versions, but what I mean is there's actually a difference between the Japanese and the English version. Really? Is it like a major difference or just a slight difference? Okay, here are the pre-orders. Where's the Mr. Driller one? Because I saw that and it kind of threw me off. And then we got the Trials of Mana remake that comes out like a few days before Soccer Wars. And then what else? The Wonderful 101 that comes out in May. For some reason, it's weird because people were still like, "Oh, there isn't enough games for this beginning." Like, and to be fair, if you're a person who's already played like the Bioshock games and the Borderlands game and XCOM, none of that means anything to you. But I haven't played. I have the first Bioshock, and I've never played Borderlands. So, and then it's crazy, yo. So I still don't know when SpongeBob SquarePants Rehydrated is supposed to be coming out. I have a sneaking suspicion that's coming out in May too. I've heard rumors, but we'll see. So in the Japanese version, they do like a pseudo. Okay, so what is it in the American version then? In the English version, is more of a father daughter. Really? That's a hell of a switch, bro. Sibling. I thought there was gonna be like a lover one in there. Apparently not. That's interesting. I'm trying to see what else. And it's funny because we got the demo for Bravely Default 2, which I still haven't got a chance to play yet because I kind of got distracted. I don't know. This weekend's been weird. The fact that I had to get up for work tomorrow kind of fucked up my plans for like last night and tonight. Like last night I streamed, and then today was kind of a real like whatever kind of day. But I still didn't feel like I had enough time because I was doing other things, get ready for work and everything. Okay, so it's just an overblown prediction video, which is what I suspect nowadays. But I was just curious if there was more to it. So to go through the direct proper, I think the main thing is I love how certain Nintendo franchises have been elevated. Have been elevated to the point where they're like show openers. Like Xenoblade went from like a no name series to a fucking like, oh, we're opening directs with Xenoblade. Definitive Edition. That looks nice. That looks real nice. And a lot of people mentioned that since I haven't played the original, I don't know that much about it. But they said like one of the characters' thing changed to like the core crystal from 2, maybe making it more of like a direct make this remake being more of like the one that fits the timeline better than like the original Xenoblade did, because it was obvious that like the original Xenoblade, I don't think it wasn't like they already had the idea for 2 when they were making 1. So maybe the definitive edition will have elements in it that will more closely relate to 2 than they already do, because there already are elements that relate anyway. So maybe they'll just add more elements. But it looks good, and I want to get it. Then when we get to the 2K ports, and I need to kind of make something clear with the port conversation, because people have their thoughts and opinions on the ports, and there's been a lot of talk and aggravation with the Wii U ports and the ports of old games and how we're not getting like true third-party support. And I'll say it once, and I've said it many times, I'll say it again. Nintendo and third party with me is the same tier as like Xbox and first party, or Xbox and exclusives, what I really should be saying. Nintendo has to regain the trust of a lot of these third party companies. That also means that we're going to go through a good period of time where we're just getting these old games ported to Switch, because Switch is selling. Is an easy, it's not like a major investment. And a lot of these companies have already seen good returns on their games. Not all of them, but some of them have. I think like Square's been relatively happy. I think Capcom's been relatively happy. Although I'm very curious what else they're going to put out, because Capcom doesn't. They've already kind of gone through all their traditional franchises that they have like games. We already got Okami. We got all the Resident Evils. We got Devil May Cry. The only thing left you got really is like Beautiful Joe, and that would imply you making a remake of Beautiful Joe, or making like ports of Beautiful Joe in general. Beautiful Joe, I don't think has ports, but those are like the other games you could do. I was surprised they went out of their way to give Devil May Cry 3 that special edition with updated mechanics and shit. And then, well, they still have to do 4 to be fair. What's up, ASAP Rail? How you doing, bro? Um, so like I said, like I know people are mad about the ports of BioShock and Borderlands and XCOM because they're ports, but the reality is Nintendo has to regain trust. And they're not gonna spend a ridiculous amount of money, especially with the whole card situation and now with the virus. I don't think anyone's trying to make any crazy financial bets yet, especially with the new consoles on the horizon, which may or may not even come out this year, which I think would end up hurting. I would say it hurt Xbox more than anyone else, but Xbox would probably come out. I think Xbox is the more likely of the two to come out. I don't think fucking Sony, like I said it before, I don't think Sony really wants to do another console. They will, but I don't think they want to. That's the whole point. What's up, Julian Franklin? We'll just call you Julian. That name sounds familiar. I think I know you, bro. The icon might be new, but I think I know you, bro. Wait, Prince, were you in here before Revolver and I didn't see you? I thought, if not, then what's up, Prince Revolver? I was waiting for some Pog jokes. Okay, it has been a while. All right, I knew I recognized the name. I was like, bro, it's like, I know I remember you, but the icon is different. That's what threw me off, I think. But like the direct, it's funny they call it a mini. They call it a mini direct, and most people would have said that's pretty full featured of a direct, which is fair. But I think they did it to temper expectations because there's probably a lot of people think there was probably more to that direct that we got, and the only reason why was because, but they still wanted to put out something, but they had to change the direct due to the virus. That's a lot. That's what a lot of people think. We still got a lot of shit, by the way. We got a bunch of stuff dropping the same day, and I guess I could skim through the direct to give you. I don't want to rehash it because a lot of you already know, but I do want to. I want to go over some key ones. I already went over Xenoblade, went over the 2K ports. If you're asking which ones I would get, it's probably Xenoblade Definitive Edition, probably the Borderlands collection of the between Borderlands and fucking Borderlands and BioShock and XCOM. Borderlands is the one I'm the most interested in playing. Shantae is getting bought day one. This is how life is gonna be. Shantae's getting bought day one. Don't ask me anything else. And then what was the other one? Last of Us, I don't care. I think those were all the. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing a game. And then obviously for April, the main two games will probably be Resident Evil 3 and Soccer Wars. Let me just skim through Nintendo's thing real quick, just to kind of refresh myself on some of it. Because some of the stuff was more interesting than others, and there might be a few things I'm missing. The Pokemon stuff at the end was whatever. Like they say, it's new information, but it wasn't really new information. Oh, you haven't been in the chat as much. Okay, that makes way more sense. Okay, so if we scroll through the information we got, Bravely Default demo, I still need to play. I'm excited about that. What's up, Jazzy? That was cool. Fucking. Then we got a bunch of like games or things that were released that day. So like the Panzer Dragoon remake. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. It's hard, bro, because like I work too. So I stream when I'm off. So that means when I'm off, that means you're probably working. That was the last. That was of Us is the best game ever. That was the Jesus Christ. What else am I? That fucked me all the way up, bro. Damn it. So yeah. What else? And now my phone's going off. That's my work phone. It looks like some BS I don't care about. As long as it's not work-related stuff, that's all I was concerned about. Brave Default 2, I just need to play the demo, but that was probably going to be day one anyway. The Pokemon stuff was irrelevant. Good Job released that day. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 DLC released that day. I still had to work. I know I had to work Monday and Tuesday at least. I just don't know anything past that. So, and they're not full days. I think I'm only working like 4 or 5 hour days, but I still got to work it. I'm going to wreck it. Oh shit! If you've been like a long time subscriber, you know that I'm gonna wreck it joke in our. Only a few people I think nowadays even know what that's a reference to. But like Jazzy fucks me up with that. Yeah, he's a real one. He's a real one for that joke. Oh my goodness. The Marvel Alliance 3 demo, cool. Um, yeah, I figured Animal Crossing had everyone tripped out. The Panzer Dragoon Shadow release, that was kind of cool. Although I've heard there are things that need to be patched about it. And then I also, now we know it's like a timed exclusive. I don't know how long that time is, but it is a timed exclusive. Then we got one of the weirder announcements, which was the fucking Catherine full body for Switch uh announcement. That comes out in fucking July, which is also weird. Why that late, I don't know. This Catherine full body came out, was it this year? If it was this year, it doesn't feel like it was. I don't think it was. I think it was last year. Catherine full body originally came out like last year, I believe. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of new news. It was just kind of like it was just extra. It was updates and like cool information. Um, I'll be real with you. If I was gonna ask for an Atlas port, man, Catherine is not the one. It wouldn't have been the first one. I get it. It's Atlas putting more stuff out on Switch, which I appreciate because let's be real here. Considering you're owned by Sega, I expected way more stuff to come out on Switch than it already actually had. That's what I thought. It came out last year. And also, I'm not a huge fan of full body in certain aspects. I actually would have preferred you just give me. I mean, in terms of gaming content, I'm cool with it. I just don't care about it from a story perspective. I feel like they ruined the true ending with Catherine with a K, and the Ren stuff seems kind of tacked on personally to me. That's just my opinion, though. Uh, I get this is them testing it out, and Catherine was never on any Nintendo platform. It came out on the PS3. I didn't even get full body when it came out because I'd already played the original and I preferred, other than maybe like some of the new extra content with like the block puzzles and new levels and having Joker in there and that stuff. That's what we should have got. We should have got a Persona game. Even if it, I would have preferred it. Personally, I would have rather it been 4 or 3. But if it was 5, I would have been fine with it. It's weird that like Catherine's the game you really want to test. And we still haven't heard shit about Shin Megami Tensei 5. So that's a whole nother thing. Also, the shadow announcement of Burnout Paradise Remastered. The fuck? Okay. Now, I don't really give a fuck that much about Space Ending is the only good ending. Ah, I see what you did there, Wandering Soul. I actually like that ending too, to be honest with you. It's not a bad one. I like it. It's the, if I believe, I think it's one, I think I got it. I got one of Vincent's endings. I didn't get any of the girls because I played it pretty straight laced. Yeah, see, most people played it back on the PS3 360. So full body, like Catherine. Although I do know that Catherine has a competitive scene, uh, it just wasn't a game that I needed to replay. But puzzle games do well on Switch, so that's cool. Like I said, it'll probably do well. But God, I want like one of the Persona games. Personally, I'd rather have it before 3 because I've already played 5. But put the Persona titles on Switch. Stop fucking around, bro. I don't give a fuck about. I like Catherine as a game, but like dead ass. If it wasn't a sequel to Catherine, I don't care. I don't care about a port of the first one. I think I got like it's one of Vincent's endings. I think that isn't the UF ending. Isn't that his true ending? Where he kind of just focuses on himself and like he follows his dream and he ends up becoming like an astronaut. I believe that's what it was. It was one of his neutral endings. I do know that. I just don't know if it was his true one. I actually went and looked up all the full body endings for Catherine's, for the Catherine full body. The only one I think that inherently improved was Catherine with a C. So it annoyed me that Catherine with a C got improved endings across the board. Like her true ending is way better and way cuter, but you fucked with Catherine with a K endings. I was like, no, no. That pissed me off personally. Um, but the Burnout. What I was gonna say about Burnout, real quick, is that Burnout is like the only realistic racer I ever had fun with personally. Yeah, when he wins the bet with the boss. Yeah. Um, but the Burnout Paradise Burnout is one of the few one of the few like realistic franchises I fuck with. So the Burnout Paradise might get bought. I need to see how it runs on Switch. That might get bought. Maybe. Haven't decided yet. Trials of Mana remake still looked good. Saints Row came out that day. Star Wars. Trying to remember if there was anything else substantial I needed to scroll through. I'm just scrolling through the direct because I feel like I'm missing some things. Animal Crossing stuff. Ring Fit getting more content is cool, especially because I know that game is done so well. Not even like, and that's the other thing. There hasn't been a lot of like racing games in general on Switch, and the ones we get are like the indie ones. Burnout's like an established franchise, so we'll see. But that one might get bought just because it's Burnout. Oh, and then obviously the ARMS representative for Smash, which was fucking great. And it's weird. The thing about the ARMS thing always confused me. So when Smash Ultimate got announced or got like teased, most people assumed that we would get an ARMS rep anyway because it was a new IP. It had just came out. And it hadn't even been out for like maybe a year when this game, because the game got teased back in like early 2018. Like Smash got teased like it was like March or April's direct that got teased. So most people thought ARMS was going to be in there anyway. Then it wasn't, and we got all the crazy DLC characters we've gotten so far. And then like it's weird because some people's complaint was that we weren't getting enough Nintendo representation. That was the complaint, and then the first two Nintendo reps we got, no one is happy about. People got shit to say about Byleth, and people got shit to say about ARMS. And ARMS, it pisses me off because supposedly nobody played the game, but everyone has some shit to say out. So what? But that to me, that's insane. So you guessed it. So people thought it was going to get a rep. It didn't get a rep, and then when it got a rep, it was too late for the rep. And it's only been like what 2 years? Smash ain't even been out for 2 years yet. It's only been out for like a year and a half. I want to say it came out in December of 2018 and was out for a year. It's going on. It's not even in its second year yet, and people are like, ARMS. What the fuck? It's so dumb. And if you ask me which ARMS rep, that's what I'm saying. Like people are in the DLC. I mean, there's not enough Nintendo reps in the DLC. That was what people's concern was, and I was like, so you have that concern, and then they pick two Nintendo reps, and people go, "Ugh, Fire Emblem," and "Ugh, ARM." Oh yeah, we're gonna see how people feel when that character gets like fully revealed and released. The roster was done in 2016. That's the other thing. Yeah, ARMS sold a lot, but the problem is a lot of people who bought it don't play it anymore. Rex, I actually suspect to be another DLC character coming. That's just a suspicion of mine that Rex will end up being another DLC character. Especially if they're going back and adding ARMS, it would not surprise me if they go back and add Rex. Because they're both 2017. What the hell was that? That was crazy in English. They're both from 2017 games. One in December and one in like June. Actually, you know the reason why I always will remember ARMS is that ARMS came out on my birthday. ARMS came out on June 16th, and that is my birthday. So ARMS will always have a certain amount of love for me just for that dumb reason. I genuinely like that world and characters. You know what the problem with ARMS was? It didn't double down on it. It was like it's a new IP, and they didn't come at it hard. It still did well, but it was like hit it hard, bro. I'm assuming. I mean, there aren't that many third-party characters you can do left. I'm just curious which first-party characters we'll get. If Rex is the last character, that'd be kind of funny to me personally. I'd be curious if anyone start throwing it, bro. People already know how I feel about Xenoblade 2. If you start throwing shit against Rex, we're gonna have a fucking problem. Like, it's just gonna happen. Like we're gonna throw hands if people start talking shit about Rex. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, but I imagine him to be in the second one. My only two picks that I care about uh, were were Rex and Shantae. Arms was one of them too, but we're already getting Arms, so it's Rex and Shantae. Arms can easily become a series. They just need to fucking expand it. That was the problem. There isn't no problem. In the grand scheme of things, there isn't any real issues. But some people are petty, and that's what ends up happening. I just thought it was disrespectful to throw shade at my boy, at my arms, man's like that. That's just me though. Um, but definitely want Rex. I'm trying to think what was else in there that we need to talk about. You had the Ninjala game, which we've seen so much of and like literally won't just come out. And it's a free to play game. Didn't even know that. Because I remember seeing it like multiple times in the last like year or two and literally just has not come out. And then this is when they go through the demo reel, so it's the demo like the fucking demo reel. There wasn't nothing overly interesting in there other than Burnout and Mr. Driller. There are a couple NIS titles, Minecraft Dungeons, and then the last thing was Pokemon, which, like I said, didn't have a lot in there that I was overly interested in anyway. Like at that point, which is crazy, because that means June is going to be nuts in its own right. But we'll see. We already got the Pokemon DLC and the Smash DLC coming out in June, so we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. The thing with Arms is that to me, it's still too early to put out. Well, I say that, and then Splatoon had a turnaround of what 2 years. Splatoon came out in 2015, and then the sequel came out in 2017. Although most people would argue that was a pretty quick turnaround for that was a pretty quick turnaround for Splatoon, and it kind of and it's weird because the game still did well and people still play it, but like for me personally, I feel like it was a little bit too quick for it. Arms could easily get a sequel. I just don't know how. Arms, it would seem like it's too soon. Like Arms came out in 2017. It's been 3 years, but the updates for it didn't stop until 2018. So it's been more like 2 years. Yeah, a lot of people also think we're gonna get a Pokemon rep, which makes sense. Uh, if it's a Pokemon rep, we already have Greninja. The one it would more likely be is a grass rep because that's the only one we never got. We have Greninja for Gen 6. We have Incineroar for Gen 7. Gen 8 would more than likely be fucking Rillaboom, which for me personally isn't that interesting. I'd rather it be Cinderace because of my rabbit bias. But if we were going through like type representation, that means if we were if we're talking about Smash DLC characters, we're getting 6 in total. Arms is 1. Let's say Xenoblade is 2. I'm not gonna put Shantae in there because that's a personal pick. Pokemon has a higher chance, so that would be Pokemon is 3. We still got 3 more IPs. I don't know how many other. What else could you put in there? Wait, what? The Ninja's giving into feminism yet? The day they do is the day we stop seeing games like Xenoblade and Animal Crossing. Oh God, not Zarate. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know about Zarate. That design ain't doing it for me personally. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't understand the feminism argument from Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing arguably is the game that's like made for girls. Um, that's like the best way I can describe. And it's not like it's only for girls, but a lot of girls play it. Waluigi, I doubt. Also, let me check to see if there's any questions I could answer. Oh, there's a couple. Let's see. Let's read the first one. I'm gonna do a couple questions while you guys are talking, so I can get these out of the way and also still answer the question and then like still talk about things. Nature, I hope you're keeping safe. What do you think about all the people who are bitching and complaining about the lack of direct? And then when we finally get one, seeing how an arms character as the first DLC in the second pack. What do you think the strategy is behind this pack? It's funny because I already kind of answered some of this. And here's the irony is people are still complaining even though we got the direct because there isn't. So here's the thing. People wanted a direct, but people also were complaining about like the lack of Nintendo games. Well, I wouldn't say this direct really fixed that problem anyway. So people are still mad. And so it's almost like a lose-lose situation in that sense. There's like no, at that point they're already screwed. So it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Um, because the Nintendo Direct had a lot of cool like third party stuff that I would fuck with, like a few first party games I'm interested in. But like, and here's the kicker. Even getting a direct, most of the it's weird because it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Even if we got the direct like in February, it would have been pretty much the same result. We wouldn't have even got to enjoy the majority of these games until later. Sora's one I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Sora, but I'm also not like overly concerned. Dante seems unnecessary. A lot of people I bet are thinking Dante primarily due to the amount of ports his games have been getting on Switch recently. We literally have every game except the fourth game and the fifth game. And I have a sneaking suspicion the fourth game will come out pretty soon. The fifth one might be a different story, but we're probably going to get 1 through 4. Oh no, we're on that Goku shit tonight. That's not good. Digimon just seems like a weird choice. But yeah, I think that, and as far as the strategy, as far as this next DLC pack, I think it's more Nintendo focused. Is it going to be like, is it going to be more for, is either going to be primarily first party or like majority? It's either going to be all first party or majority first party. That's my guess. So let me get rid of that question. And then the one from Melvin or Deku Tree. Does arms open the door for Rex? I don't know if it opens the door for Rex, but actually, kind of. So I'll say yeah to that. I believe they expressed some interest in Rex, but the game came out too late. Yeah. And would you like to see a new Pokemon trainer from a different region in Smash? Oh, a different Pokemon trainer. That's more of an interesting question. If 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 I could pick, I would prefer it be Gen 2. Primarily because Gen 2 I don't feel like gets enough love in when it comes to callbacks. It's always like Gen 1. Gen 3 just had its remake, and then people in Gen 4 and 5 are still considered relatively new. I think Gen 2 needs the love. So it'd be like if we're going by the same order they do Pokemon Training and Smash currently, Typhlosion, Bayleaf, which actually works perfectly because Bayleaf is probably the fan favorite of that line, and then Totodile, who I also think is the fan favorite of that line. So yeah, I'd be totally down for like a Gen 2 Pokemon trainer. That's the one I would personally prefer. Let's see. Oh no, we're going into the manga anime conversation. Let's see. What manga are you currently reading? Let's go into that. I've heard people talk about Digimon Season 2B. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it personally. But if we're talking about the manga I'm reading, My Hero Academia, uh, Demon Slayer, Spy X Family, Black Clover, One Piece. Um, I've been reading a couple of the new series, but nothing to like say I'm overly concerned about them. What else? What else? I could just look up my list real quick. Let's see what else is on the list that I read. Um, Promise Neverland. I do follow A Gravity Boys, although I'm not like overly Dr. Stone, obviously. I read Guardian the Witch. I'm still waiting. I want to catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen. That's the one I'm interested in looking at. I read a little bit of Yokozuna Family, Undead Unluck, a little bit of We Never Learn, Zip Man. What else? One Punch Man. I already said Spy X Family. I am casually looking at the Dragon Ball Super manga, Blue Exorcist. What else? What else? What else? Those might be the main ones. Everything else is like either old or finished manga. And then I was reading like the Korean one called Burning Effect. That was another one I was looking at. I have no interest in the Comic Got Killed whatsoever. The anime put me off so bad. I have no interest in that series. Oh, and what else? Name one thing from anime, manga, and real life that you want to get into. Name one thing from anime, manga, and real life you want to get into. I didn't watch Your Name. I watched Silent Voice, and I love Silent Voice. I watched some. I read a good chunk of Chainsaw Man. I just haven't kept up with like the last 5 or so chapters of it. Um, but yeah, I never watched Your Name. I watched Silent Voice, and I love Silent Voice. I just never watched Your Name. And then I started watching Beastars recently. And then obviously Snafu season 3, when that shit starts, that's gonna be a whole problem for me. But name one thing I would like to get into from anime, manga, real life. Learning different languages. I want to go back and watch School Rumble. Go back and watch more of the Tenchi series. Finish Beastars, obviously. I'm only like 6 episodes in on that. Yeah, I have no interest in. Oh, you're talking about Yuna and the Hot Springs? The problem is there is no like easy way for. Well, I won't say there's no easy way for me to watch it. I just haven't. I watched the anime for Yuna and the Hot Springs and I liked it. I thought it was okay, and I just never went and read the manga for it yet. I haven't seen Weathering with You either. I have looked at Fire Force within like the last month or so. The last month or so, I for some reason started skimming through clips of the anime. Then I started skimming clips of the manga. Inuyasha I'm pretty done with. There are certain parts of Inuyasha I wouldn't mind rewatching, but I don't need to rewatch that. What else? There are a few shows, and then and then I think he asked something else. What was the other thing? Have you ever been in a bad situation that has ultimately helped you make better decisions in life? So pretty much a bad experience that I learned from. Yeah, but like I'm trying to think of one that I don't mind telling you. There's a lot of bad decisions I've made that like led to better things in the long run, but the one I probably will admit to you is my mother bought me a car when I was 18, uh, even though I was just working a part-time job. And the bad decision was thinking that she was going to pay for the car entirely. That did not happen at all. So the short version is that I ended up owing that shit went to collections. I had to pay off collections, lost the car, and it took me until we got like an old used Chevy Cobalt that I drove from like 2011 until like maybe a year or two ago. Probably until like 2000 and no, like a year ago. I think it was 2019. 2019 is when I sold the car. Still ran and everything, but I pretty much learned better money management and saving. That was one thing that was drilled in my head since a child. Like even I think most people will tell you, I'm pretty good about saving my money, even though I do spend my money on a bunch of reckless shit. I'll give you, I'm gonna give you something I spend my money on regularly that I probably shouldn't. I commission pictures. I'll just say that. They're nothing. It's nothing like crazy, but I do. I don't think I haven't watched. You know, it's funny, bro. I used to be such a defender of dubs, and like at a certain point, I legit just stopped watching them. Like Beastars actually has a dub that I could have watched, just didn't care about. You wanna know why? I think recently is because a lot of the shows I liked that I was gonna watch in English, I fucking hate like one or two voice actors in English dub. A good example is like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I adored that show, but bro, when I tell you I hated what they did with Lucoa's voice actress, I was like, fuck. They made her. I hate that when you. The one thing I hate about a dub is when it misses the fucking mark on a character's personality completely, and that's literally what happened. Lucoa is not supposed to be like this fucking valley girl. She's supposed to be kind of like the Ada Ada type of girl. Like she's like very motherly, and the dub makes her sound like a sugar mama. I'm like, fuck. I will say I did like the JoJo Part 4 dub. I still like the majority of the One Piece dub when they fucking dub it. What was the other one? The Black Clover dub I think is overall okay. But the Black Clover dub and even the My Hero dub both have like one or two voices I don't care for. I think My Hero's voice that I can't stand is worse. I like Mineta. I do not like his dub voice at all. Because they gave him a lisp, and I have no idea why they gave him that. I blame Jamie Marchi. There's a particular reason why I blame her specifically. Was she the ADR director on that? Let's see. Oh yeah, we got the whole OST issue with Pokemon. That's a whole nother thing. Um, the voice I'm not a huge. Actually, Black Clover's dub. I'm trying to think of the voice I can't stand. I don't think I have a voice I can't stand for the most part. Also, because I think I'm just past the awkward like mouth flaps matching with sequences. Like for some reason, I had no interest in watching or getting into. I didn't care for. I'll put it this way: I didn't care about Tokyo Ghoul's premise. That was my issue. She changed lines, and I heard she did do that. Funimation kind of fell out of my graces because of that. Although I'm probably gonna get that fucking oh no, what's it called? Oh no, what's it called? I remembered it recently. Fuck, it's the one they recently got the rights to. That's been lost to time, even though it had a dub that came out on. It had a dub that came out on Tsunami. I talked about it like in the last few weeks. What's it called? I can't even think of the opening. What the fuck is it called? Oh, Paranoia Agent. Paranoia Agent is probably the one I'm gonna get. Well, the older dubs, ironically enough, I think like the dubs from like 2005, I fuck with. Um, I used to like Funimation more than I do now, primarily because they keep changing things. Um, since I was doing that with Tu Love Ru, I also did listen to the Snafu dub. Uh, the Snafu dub, I don't think it's bad, but it doesn't hit the same way. But see, when you spend like 2 to 3 years, Snafu came out I think in 2016 or some shit. Like Snafu hit me in a different way, bro. So listening to a dub of that, I want it. Oh yeah, Paranoia Agent. You don't know about Paranoia Agent? If you didn't watch like Adult Swim, you may not. But I still want that Paranoia Agent dub. I really do. Let's see. The problem is I think the bad people are too ingrained in there. Personally, I think that's probably the issue. Tokyo Ghoul was just not like I didn't care for the premise. Where like I remember the premise, I remember correctly, is like this nerdy shy kid goes out with this girl. The girl ends up being a ghoul and tries to kill him, but like in the scuffle, he gets like major hurt. Uh, and but she in the and she accidentally dies. So to save his life, they use like pieces of her body to save him, which turned him into like a half ghoul. And that's like the premise of that's like the basics of it. Um, I've seen parts of it. It's just something not for me. Snap! Season 3 is gonna ruin everybody. Uh, yeah, for the most part, I like the One Piece dub. There are certain parts of it I don't care for, but the majority I like the One Piece dub. Lupin the Third was another old school series I never got into. You guys, where's it different back in 2013, bro? Oh shit, yeah, bro. Hikigai hits different in general. Shit. Hikigai one of the type of dudes that'll say some shit to you and be like, bruh, that's fuck, man, that's fuck. And then you think about it for a minute and you're like, you right though. Like that's funny, bro. Especially season one Hikigai. Season one Hikigai said some shit and I was just like, that's pretty fucked, man. But I fuck with it. Like, yeah, oh, Jesus Christ. Sentai Filmworks dubs, they're usually pretty inconsistent. I'll agree with that. Like, you might get an overall decent dub, but there's always like one or two things about it that fucking stops it from becoming great. Um, let's get to another question. Have you been using your time under quarantine to play games or watch anime in your backlog? Yes, and yes. Like I said, well, actually, I wouldn't say I watch anime in my backlog because Beastars was like a new jump into. Uh, so Beastars is like one of the only animes I've jumped into. Bruh, don't pair. Hey, man, don't be out here quoting greatness. That shit, that shit. I still think that line will always hit, bro. That nice girl speech is literally like one of his best quotes in the whole series. Like regardless of how wrong he was in season one in certain instances, that nice girl speech hits, bro. It hits. It hits so hard. I've been probably catching up on gaming than anything else. I've been primarily trying to go through Dragon Quest 11 S. I'm already past like the Dark Age. I'm currently like going through regaining my party member. So I feel like I'm making progress on that. But I didn't get to play as much as I want to. Jazz, y'all need to stop. Don't quote this man. Shit. If this was like 2005, I fucking man. This 2005, you see that shit on my Facebook profile. Not my face, my MySpace. My fucking MySpace. I would have that motherfucker's face up in the corner and have one of those quotes and be like, that's the kind of man I am. And then like I have a picture of myself looking down because I'm looking down at all the nice guys. Oh, Jesus Christ, yo. Oh, no. Oh, really? I don't really. I didn't care about Kill la Kill. La Kill just was not entertaining to me. Jesus Christ. What was the question? But yeah, I'm doing some backlog stuff, not as much as I should be doing. But hopefully after Tuesday I can like really hit it. Hey! Perry, who are you? Whose mans is this? Whose mans is this, yo? Somebody get him. Oh my goodness. What's the last question? When are you gonna play? When are you planning to play Yu-Gi-Oh on Switch? The short answer is probably not anytime soon. Especially with like Resident Evil and shit coming out. So like it probably won't be anytime soon. That's the short answer. And what are my thoughts on your peers in the Juices Loose podcast? Um what are my thoughts on the peers of the Juices Loose podcast? Do y'all like Anime Abandoned? I don't know what Anime Abandoned is. Ryuko is a piece of paper, dead ass. I still fucking I was mad, bro. That's how you know. That's how you know. When I got what was it, episode 13 or 14, I got a fucking kill. When I said I was done, I was done. I fucking hate Ryuko. That's why I like when people talk about, oh, Trigger has a new show coming out. I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about. I mean, just because Trigger has some good shows, but like they don't always have. But oh yeah, as far as my juices, it's weird because I would say in some ways I feel like I've been in recently more odds with them. Oh, okay, I haven't watched them then. Um, I've been more odds with my Juices Loose podcast members over this whole like Nintendo shit. But I feel like so if I had to go through them each one by one, Robert is cool. I think Robert Satsuki's best. All right, that's fair. I'll co-sign on Satsuki. I like her. I shouldn't like her, but I do like her. Robert's like is cool and it's just funny as hell. Robert's so chill about shit that I can just enjoy. I enjoy his like carefree nature. Like he's very much like the kind of person who fucking does not think at all when he says shit, and like it'll still end up being funny. Retro Death, I feel like loves being confrontational, but it's like in the best kind of way. Uh, Retro Death likes the like, and he's like I don't know how to describe him. He reminds me of like a variation on me, but I can't figure out in what way. I can't figure out. And I think if I was older, I would be more like Retro. I feel like that's what Retro reminds me of. Like he's a dude. He reminds me of what I would be like if I was older. Because she's not a nice girl. Oh no! Oh no! I hate you. I hate you so much, Perry. God, I hate you, yo. Who else? Oh man. Fucking T. Mr. T is like an inspiration to me in a lot of ways, bro. He's like that goofy kid. He was like that goofy kid in class that still had swag about him that fucking made it. And I was like, let's go. It was one of those like when you make it, we all made it moments. T's cool. Also, I think T now I think is just genuinely funny. But it's crazy, man. Also, I think I just like his style of humor. I don't know how to describe it. I like most of the Juices Loose podcast members' style of humor, but T's will have me dying. I will be on the floor rolling. Like if I wasn't sitting down and there was like an empty space for me to fall over, like if I was in like a legit chair, hey, I'd be gone. So fucking T, I love T to death. Fucking what am I missing? Oh, Clocktick. Clocktick is probably he has that dry humor I appreciate a lot. I feel like he kind of suffers a problem that Robert suffers from to a degree, where they don't get to talk as much. But every time he talks, he like it's always like an interesting conversation. Like I'm always engaged. And then I think is Juice. I wanted to save Juice for last. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. I think that's it. Yeah, Robert, Retro Dev T clocked it, and then me, and then Juice. So yeah, Juice, Juice. It sometimes strikes me as like such an old guy about everything, and it's funny because of how like it's like back in my day. I don't remember. Like he's not old, but it's like man. Sometimes I get the old man vibe, and this shit has me dying. Shit has me dying, bro. Um, but I honestly I do appreciate Juice for the opportunity. Um, I got more into the gaming side of YouTube thanks to that podcast. So even though I clown on him and we disagree, Juice did a lot for me and I appreciate it. Took him fucking forever to start putting our names and links in the goddamn description, but I do appreciate a lot he's done. Sometimes I don't say it enough, and maybe that's the main point, that I do genuinely enjoy doing the podcast and I enjoy the opportunity I was given to be on the podcast, especially because I don't feel like I have the same like historical knowledge as like T or Juice or fucking Clocked It do. But like I feel like I'm like literally the second youngest next to Robert, even though our age gap is like 7 years or some shit. But if he doesn't see this, if anyone wants to clip it, Juice, I appreciate you and thank you for allowing me. And then of course, Lightning then asked, and this is the last question I'm doing for tonight, about my Pokemon crew. Especially gets funny because actually this is fitting because I've already talked about like the YouTube anime crew. I think was that last podcast I talked a lot about them. So it's funny to kind of do the gaming and the Pokemon crew. Um, it's weird because our crew is kind of like a good chunk of main people and like a few extras that I don't get to interact with as much because they're usually busy with like life and shit. But if we're talking the Pokemon crew, Tyrone is like my bro. I legit we make a lot of jokes about him, but I genuinely respect him. And to me, he's the juice of the Pokemon side of things. Like he was the one who invited me to do commentaries and all that other stuff with him. He is genuinely funny as fuck, especially with all the impressions. Uh, and he just has like this real entertainer spirit. That's why it irks me when he doesn't do as much. Like, bro, I think he'd be one of the types to blow up on YouTube because he's just like he has an entertainer spirit. He just doesn't do it sometimes, and it irks me. But yeah, Tyrone is like, let's go. Like he just like Tyrone be the type of dude like if he called me at like 12 o'clock saying I need you to come get me, I go get him. No questions asked. I just go get him. KG is a different beast entirely. KG Prestige is like pure. He's like good natured chaos. That's how I describe KG. KG is good natured chaos. Um, it's weird because it keeps things entertaining while also making things insanely chaotic. But he is like, there's no way other to describe him than he is good natured chaos, and I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, the Dragon Ball Super stuff is absolutely hilarious, bro. But KG, I think is probably one of the nicest people you will ever meet, like dead ass. He just has that like really kind spirit, and like even when he's chaotic, it's never on some evil shit. It's always like him just being like, oh, no, it's just nice. It's like nice chaos, which is just a weird statement. TSS is like the fucking uncle at the fucking cookout that you never see all the time, but you're not necessarily excited when you see him. The dude is wise beyond his years, but like, bro, sometimes, and I feel like almost everybody gets like this with their family. Sometimes you're just like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's like TSS has those moments where I'm like, bro, just shut the fuck up for a second. Love him to death, and he's wise beyond his years. But sometimes you just have those moments where you're like, just shut the fuck up. But the dude definitely has a lot of knowledge to impart on people, and that's part of the reason why I like him is that he's wiser than he lets on. In some ways, I would say he lays on the fact that he's wise too damn much. But I respect a lot of ideas, especially with the whole. Actually, I don't know. Well, I guess for those, I won't say it because I don't know if he wants me to say it. But he's been through a lot. He's persevered, and he's also because he's in the tech. That's something I relate to him a lot with. So I like TSS a lot, but man, sometimes it's like, bro, too much information. It's a Friday night. Shut the fuck up. I might clip this and like send it to them. I might clip the Juices Loose one. I might clip those separately and make those separate videos just for the hell of it. What else? So that's KG, Tyrone, TSS. Richie's crazy to me because Richie has grown a lot. Richie used to be so quiet when I met him, and now I feel like he's a lot more into himself as an adult. And I'm glad because you never want to be stuck in a certain phase in your life. Richie, I also feel like is chaos, but he's like chaos in a more neutral light, and he's a lot more honest now than he used to be. Like he got on us, I think, recently because me, TSS, and Tyrone or maybe it was just me and Tyrone were like over talking them in the podcast. And Richie, when I first Richie wasn't, but when I first met Richie, he wouldn't have said that kind of shit. I respect that level of honesty, um, and I respect that level of bluntness, and I hope he never loses that because that shit. A lot of people, sometimes you need a friend who will just say that shit. Um, I don't feel like he's all the way there yet, but he's definitely grown a lot, and I'm glad to have seen that growth in him. Speaking of growth, I actually would say the same thing about Paulie in that sense. Paulie has also gone through that level of transformation. Paulie, I feel like has. Here's the thing about the internet. The internet is a great place, but can burn you so quickly. And I feel like in some ways, Paulie was on that side of the fence, where she got burned super quickly, and was very nervous um, because of it. I feel like she's grown a lot. Just to go ahead and shout her out real quick, she has a YouTube channel that she started that people should go subscribe to and give her some love. I'm happy. She's like another one of the she's jumped into that realm. She only has 21 subscribers right now, but she's also coming to herself a lot. And it's weird because I've already heard her. It's weird because like if you Polly's one of them type of chicks that if you had saw her in high school, you were like, oh, she's friends with everybody. And the way when she talks about her friends in real life, she seems like someone who was friends with everybody. So it's crazy to me that she seems like she struggles online more than I would think she does. But I think it's also because she's like the very emotional or sensitive or like are very emotionally in tune with people. And I think that's a dangerous way to be on the internet because it backfires. She also has a Twitch too, but she is uploading like videos on her YouTube channel now, which is cool. I want to support that because like she's another one of those people who has like a really bright personality, and she's weird, and I think she gets nervous about being weird on the internet, not realizing everybody's weird on the internet. I mean, for God's sakes, I went from fucking making vlogs about life to fucking openly liking a bunch. Like, bruh, if you go look, don't do it. But if you go look up my Twitter feed of like posts, it's so much lewd in that shit. It's ridiculous. You would think I had a porn addiction. So it trips me out that she gets so worried about being like considered weird on the internet. But I think that's just her gaining confidence. And she's another one, just like Richie, who's gained a lot of confidence over the past like year or so. I've only known her for like a year or so. Richie I've known for a few years, and she's already made like a really good amount of growth in that year I've known her. So I'm happy and I'm proud for her, and I want her to do well. Same thing with Richie, because I think they both have personalities that can shine, and she already seems to have like the editing and the video stuff down, so she's like a natural. Who else am I missing? And then Nessa. Nessa, I think, is the last one of like our main group that interacts the most. Nessa's, I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna roast Nessa real quick. The one thing I hate with Nessa is that fucking mic, bro. I almost like, and I realistically think it's because Nessa doesn't give a shit about like becoming a YouTuber or a Twitch person. She has like no, I don't think she has any interest in like any of that. I think she just likes to talk and hang out. And that's perfectly cool. But man, sometimes that fucking microphone makes me want to flip a goddamn makes me want to flip a goddamn table. Nessa's one of those is like don't judge a book by its cover. Nessa, you know why? Because Nessa's not in a lot of stuff, and I don't think she really cared. Nessa, I just think likes the interaction. It wasn't until DC that I kind of realized that Nessa's way more of a how do I describe it? For one, Nessa's the oldest out of our group, by the way. The only thing I know about Nessa is that she's cool and that she's Mexican like me. Uh, Nessa went from it's weird because it was such a whim situation with Nessa, and then she kind of jumped in our group, and I would almost argue she's probably the most outgoing. How do I describe? Not maybe not the most. Well, actually, yeah, in a way, the most outgoing. She's like way more like. I put it this way. I look at Nessa and realize I still have growing to do. Like that's the way I look at Nessa seems so like confident in who she is. It's almost intimidating to me sometimes. She's very herself, and it's I don't know how to describe it. It's almost mesmerizing in a way. I don't know how to describe it. She's really cool. She's really forthcoming and very outgoing, and it's just yeah, she's older than it's only I think it's only about like a year, but she is older than TSS. I just think she has her shit together, and it's weird because in the way it seems like she has her shit together better than anyone else. Um, damn, I don't even know how to describe. I can't really say anything else. I just she's like I think I've never gotten a vibe. I'll put it this way: I've never been surrounded by a girl that like that like gives off a super like older sister or like big sis vibe to me. Ness is like the first chick I've run across that really hits me with that whole like I got you, but I'm gonna let you know if you fucking up. Like that's it's I don't know how to describe it. It's like this level of honesty and transparency that throws me off. I'm not used to like a chick being like that. Yeah, there's no hidden things there. I don't know how to describe it. I don't fucking know. This is just different, bro. I don't know how to describe it. That's our main group. The only other extra members I can mention is like Evie and Daniel, but I don't interact with them consistently enough to get a beat on them. Daniel seems very to himself, but not that he's like antisocial, but he is like he strikes me as a relatively introverted person. But I don't know if that's just with our group or something. That's very true, Melvin. Yeah, I have people, and then I still have my anime squad people that I'm cool with, like Darius and Z and Period and J Man. I'm still cool with anime dudes. I'm all over the fucking place. It's crazy. I like how Juto went and checked. I just told you not to check, but then again, me telling you not to check is a bunch of etchy shit. Y'all disrespectful, bro. I say that, but I realistically probably shouldn't be the one fucking. I don't look up. I really don't look up like straight out porn on Twitter, particularly because there's so many fucking like models. It's you don't really need porn unless you're out here just checking cheeks. But hey, no hate, no shame. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up with that. Um, I think that's it. I think that's all I got to say. My voice is giving out on me, and I still have to go to work tomorrow. I'm probably gonna post those two. That's how we all do it. God damn it! But I think that's how we're all gonna post it. I think that's all I got for today. Oh shit! I'll probably post the two clips of like the Juices Loose thoughts and the Pokemon Squad thoughts. Especially because I kind of talked about a bunch of old school anime YouTubers. And yeah, by the way, I think someone asked me this a while ago and I forgot to answer it. I'm up to date on Demon Slayer. I'm up to date on One Piece. I'm up to date on Black Clover. I'm up to date on My Hero. I've already read all the new chapters for this week. So, yeah. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. I do have the new capture card, which I did a video on Twitter, specifically thanking. I think it was primarily the contributions of Sorsun and Lightning, but I do want to reiterate it here. Thank you guys for the donations, not just those two, but everyone else who donated, because it allowed me to get a new capture card. So I'm happy about that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bunny girls are top 10 every day, all day. Life's a game. Play to win. And I will see you guys later. Check out the Twitch and Discord for everything else. And I'm out. Oh, my chest. I said, oh, my chest, and then grab my stomach like I'm fucking 5. That's how you know you're faking it. So at least when I become like an adult and have kids, maybe, sort of, I don't know. I'll know when they're bullshitting. I'm up to date to the Demon Slayer manga. I don't know if that's the last chapter, but I am up to date on the Demon Slayer manga. All right, good night, everybody. My chest hurts, not really, but it's like, oh.